Hi, this is Artifacts. This may well be my last political video for quite some time. I'm getting a little infuriated at some of the things I'm seeing in the media and on the news, and it's not good for my blood pressure. I'd rather do the Mars photos. I'm rather happy with those. I enjoy them, and I don't have to sit here and get all pissed off. So, we're going to get right to it. A few days ago, maybe a week, there was a story came out about Rochester City Schools. The state has standard tests. I live in New York State, and they have standard tests for reading and writing and arithmetic and all that. And the story was that only 5% and change of Rochester City School students were proficient in reading and writing English, and only 5% even were proficient in math. I almost hit the ceiling. I couldn't believe it. Translation to this is there's a 95% illiteracy rate in the city of Rochester schools. So you would think that people would be screaming and jumping up and down and demanding the head of some of our so-called educators on a platter. Is that what's happening? No! So what do you think the local newspaper, Rochester Democrat and Chronicle, Liberal Democrat and Chronicle as I call it, what do you think they have to say about it? Well, they did mention it. Oh, by the way, there's a 95% illiteracy rate. But what do you think the lead story is? Is it about that? Is it about possibility of World War III breaking out in the Middle East? No. I'll give you a little clue. The press is not on our side. I'm going to show you. Showtime! There's a golf game. Of all the things, there's a golf game going on up in the city of Rochester, Oak Hill Golf Club, wherever that is. I'm really not interested. And that is what's on the front page of that rag. A full front page, page 1A, Rochester Liberal Democrat and Chronicle. And all they can talk about is a golf game. I was aghast. But this just goes to prove that the media is not on our side. I'm sorry, but it's the way it is. But these idiots at Rochester Democrat and Chronicle don't understand something. Let's say there's 1 million people in the Rochester area. I think that's the figure. I'd have to check. At any rate, so if only 5% of them were literate, how many people is that out of 1 million? That's 50,000. I'm sure even a monkey with a pencil can figure that out. That's a maximum of 50,000 people that would possibly be interested in buying newspapers, since 950,000 of them wouldn't know how to read, so they wouldn't be buying it. The only problem is that most of those 50,000 would probably do like they did in Detroit and leave. You see, that's what happened to Detroit. They moved liberalism in, got people hooked on welfare, and the productive people said, we're not paying for this, see ya. That's what's going to happen in Rochester if we don't do something real fast. There's no talk of firing people. As far as I'm concerned, a 5% literacy rate is criminal. Somebody should be made to pay. At the very least, we need to fire, all the administration up in the city, school administration, big people in the school boards. Fire the whole lot of them. 5% literacy. 95% illiteracy. It's unbelievable. And yet the media, all they can do is talk about this golf game at Oak Hill. I could care less. So, what can we do? What can the people do? Well, you need to get between your schools and your kids and start teaching kids yourself. Now, some of you aren't going to like hearing this, but part of the problem is some of the music they listen to. What I would suggest, take your kid aside, make him read something Victor Hugo. I used to like Edgar Rice Burroughs. I used to like the Tarzan novels. Make him read something like that. And if they can't read it, and they can't write a book report for you, and they can't, tell you what's the volume of a cylinder that's 5 feet long, 2 feet wide, in inches, cubic inches, they can't tell you what the volume of that is, and they can't read Tolstoy or something, then alright, there's a way to fix this. You see, a lot of these kids are sitting there watching on their beautiful smartphones. They're watching some rapper punk go along. I'm a punk. I smoke dope. I fuck whores. I do this. I do that. Fucking dirty white cracker boy. Blah, 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 blah. That's crap. Don't let them listen to it. We don't need that kind of crap going on. A home is not a democracy. You're much better off saying, okay, you can't read and write, so I'm going to take action. From now on, you listen to Beethoven, Bach, Stravinsky, whatever. But you're not listening to that under my roof. That's one thing you could do. Another thing is start teaching them. Start teaching your kids when they're 5 years old how to read and write. Because the school system is not doing that. They are being negligent. They are failing your kids. They are failures. They're intentional failures. They're, having little Johnny read 10,000 Ways to Be a Homosexual Slut or something. Disgusting. So get between your kids and the public school system and start teaching them. Teach them everything you can. Have them read Tolstoy. Have them read Walden. Have them read... Oh God, I hate to suggest this. The McGuffey readers. We had those when I was a kid. I hated them. But I'd probably like them now. In the old days you had a mean old bitch that would bring out a ruler and slap a kid when they weren't paying attention. They'd take her and slap it on their wrists. Whack, whack, whack. She may have been a mean old bitch, but she knew how to get the kids' attention and she knew how to get results. And we cannot tolerate this stuff any longer. I mean, city of Rochester is going the way of the city of Detroit. The city of Detroit is on life support. That city is almost dead. They brought in the welfare and they got people hooked on that. Productive people said, screw this, we're not paying for this, and they left. Now the city of Rochester is in the same position. Because when we start having graduating kids with 95% illiteracy rate You cannot sustain the city on that. And these imbeciles at the Rochester Democrat and Chronicle don't understand this. They're not going to be able to sustain their newspaper on this. They're not terribly bright there. In closing, I'd say we have an emergency. I mean, we're facing the possibility of World War III in the Middle East, and the media is not waking up to that. And when these idiots are sitting there covering a golf game in preference to covering what's important, we got extremely serious problem. People have got to wake up. We've got to take charge. There's an old saying, when the people won't lead, when the leaders won't lead, the people need to lead the leaders. And that's what needs to happen. We have to throw all the people in Rochester City School District out that we can. Throw them out of school boards, every single one of them. They don't deserve to be paid. They don't deserve the money. Not when they have 5% literacy rate. People, you got to take action. You can't expect the leaders to do it for you. The leaders aren't outraged. They're over at Oak Hill watching a golf game. Disgusting, despicable, unacceptable. Throw the bastards out. I don't know what else to tell you. And get in between public schools and your kids. Throw out 10,000 ways to be a homosexual slut or whatever it is they're studying, and get some real textbooks. Edgar Rice, Burroughs, Tolstoy, whoever. Even the McGuffey readers, even though I wouldn't wish that on them. I'm Artifacts of Mars. It's up to you. You can save your city of Rochester, and you can help save your country. But you've got to lead the leaders. It's the only way. Because your leaders are no good. I'm Artifacts of Mars. Next video is going to be about Mars. Curiosity, Soul 44. That way I won't get so mad. I'm going to enjoy doing that. Thank you.